What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Fiction Tea Review. Before we start this video, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell to get notified for upcoming videos. Be sure to like this video. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Season 3, Episode 6 of Dark, called Light and Shadow. Let's start. So we get this opening scene with Martha as the narrator, and she gives Jonas this letter, and in the letter that she reads out loud basically tells Jonas to let her go, and that in order for her to live, she has to die, and he has to accept that. And we see her locked in a cage by the girl that Jonas met. It's a scene with present Martha. She walks up to her house and she goes into a straight full panic. Magnus comes downstairs. He's like, "Where have you been? What's going on?" And she's freaking out. She's telling them, she tells him that Bartosz was right. His dad is up to no good. His dad is actually in on this, and it's about to be the apocalypse. Because of the music and because of her emotions, we get this panic feeling as the people that's watching this. But we see that Magnus' face, his expression is just like disgruntled, and he looks a little bit disgusted because he's like, "You put mom through all this stuff. You were missing. She was looking for you. She was worried." Whole time Martha's trying to tell him, like, forget all that, it's gonna be apocalypse, the world's about to end, like, Bartosz was right, like, shit's about to get real. He just looks at her like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." When he leaves, she just stands there kind of stuck and not knowing what to do. She's just like, "Well, he doesn't believe me, so what do I do now?" Then we get to the scene with the two Marthas. Middle-aged future Martha tells cut-faced Martha, "You and Jonas were not meant to be together," and I get it, I understand, but at the same time, this had to happen. You two together was just wrong. Gotta let him go. Then we go to the scene with Adam and Martha, and Adam tells Martha, basically says that paradise, I realize, is nothingness, and that's what's gonna happen. This apocalypse is gonna be nothingness, it's gonna be darkness, and this whole life that we're living right now, it's just full of pain anyway, so let's just get rid of all of it. I don't want any of it to exist. The apocalypse has to happen if we're gonna be free of pain. Then we jump to the scene of 6 hours until the apocalypse, and Bartosz finds out the truth from his dad, who is Alexander. His dad tells him, yeah, I got something to tell you. He says, "I'm being blackmailed, and not only am I being blackmailed, but I'm not really Alexander, I'm really Boris Niewald." And Bartosz is like, he's like, "It's not what you think, though. I'm not a murderer. It's all kind of misconstrued." Because remember who Boris Niewald was in the last season. The look on Bartosz's face, it's just a complete blank expression, because he's coming to realize, like, my whole life is a lie.
How? My whole life has been a lie.
Like, my dad's lying to me. My mom's dead, so she didn't even know about it before she died. I don't know what my life is. This is too much at one time. He doesn't know how to handle it. At the same time, he feels betrayed that his dad not only didn't tell him, but he didn't tell his mom before she died. And he leaves. So next thing we have Charlotte and Hannah, right? And Charlotte, she drops by uninvited to Ulrich's house, but guess who answers the door? Surprise, it's me, Hannah. And first of all, I want to say Hannah's stomach is huge. Second off, I want to say that before Ulrich actually enters, Hannah kind of walks up to her and she was like, "Ulrich is mine, and nothing is going to change that. You're not going to change that." She's like, "Got that?" I'm just thinking, my question. I was like, why not bring it up right now to Ulrich, to his face, while Charlotte is there? That was my question. Ulrich comes downstairs and he tells Charlotte, "Don't ever come over here uninvited. Are you crazy?" And Charlotte gives him this expression. And it's almost like a, wow, like, why did I ever talk to you? Like, what was wrong with me expression. That's what I got. She stared at him for a little moment before she told him about the results of the coin. And she gives him like this, wow, this is who you really are. This is your true colors type of expression. And like, what was I thinking type of expression. Just like, she basically tells him that the results are back for the pennies, the microscopic results are back from the pennies, and that basically the pennies time traveled. They've existed in different time zones. And let's talk about the penny for a little bit. The penny has St. Christopher on it. Now, my theory about the penny, this St. Christopher, the symbolism of St. Christopher, it's supposed to protect people who travel. Travelers are supposed to be a protection, some sort of shield for travelers. And in this case, in this show, it's protecting time travelers, these people who are traveling through time. It's a protection. But my theory of this necklace is not only does it protect them through time traveling, but it's actually the tree of life. Hear me out. What is the tree of life? The tree of life is a fundamental widespread myth, and many mythologies, religious and philosophical traditions. It is related to the sacred tree. The tree of knowledge connects to heaven and the underworld, and it connects all forms of creation. Now think about that, and think about what it does for this show. The necklace, the coin necklace with the St. Christopher on it, it connects not only this one-dimensional world, but another dimensional world. It connects the past, present, and the future. It connects all the characters. And the tree of life is said to be a sacred tree. Sacred. So if you think about the tree, it's the sacred tree, but it also connects everyone. And it says that the tree of life connects the underworld and the heavens. You see the connection that I'm making? Then we get this intimate moment with Katerina and Martha, and I feel like we really needed that. But not only did we need it, those characters needed it. Katerina has been through a lot of stuff, okay? She's been through a lot of stuff with the cheating, with time traveling, with, you know, even though in that time zone Mikkel was there, but even in that time zone she had been through a lot. But Martha, her character needed that hug, needed that moment with her mom. She'd been through hell and back, seeing different versions of herself, losing Jonas, the apocalypse, knowing about what's about to happen, time traveling. Like, she really needed that intimate moment with her mom, and it was nice to see. Next scene, Claudia sees Jonas. She finds out that, oh my god, Jonas, you're actually alive. I see you face to face. And she touches this little light orb, and we see that the dark matter, the once dark matter, is now a light orb, what's left over from the dark matter. And of course you can't get light without dark, you can't get dark without light, you just can't. It says that the dark orb, it's now light, which is the reference to the title of this episode. So then we have the scene with the three Marthas. Older Martha tells younger Martha that the reason that Jonas is still alive because of the quantum loop. Now the quantum loop is a loop quantum gravity, LQG. It's a theory of quantum gravity attempting to merge quantum mechanics and general relativity, including the incorporation of the matter of the standard model intro. It is the framework established for the pure quantum gravity case. It competes with the string theory as a candidate for quantum gravity. Now, quantum loop involves kind of this entanglement between relativity, including matter. When we think about matter, we think about the dark matter. And a quantum loop is a loop, like I said, that entangles together. It also says that it competes with string theory. Now, string theory is basically describes how string propagates through space and interacts with each other. Now think about that in terms of this episode, this show, and these characters. Everybody intertwines with each other, everybody interacts with each other, everybody damn near related to each other in some way in this show. If you think about string theory, they all interact with each other. If you think about quantum loop, they're all basically connected to each other based off the matter, based off the dark matter. So that's what I theorize with quantum loop and with string theory, because they all kind of come together. And think about this show, it puts so many things in it at one time. So like I said in my last episode, that's why this show can have longevity because of that. Apparently Adam has been trying to prevent the baby inside of Martha. Older Martha tells Martha, Adam been trying to prevent this from happening, this quantum loop from happening for years, and now it's finally going to happen. He's been trying to do this for 33 years. Now, the 33 years, when you think about the 33 years, you have to take into effect the lunar moon cycle. When you think about this episode, and older Martha tells younger Martha that Adam has been trying to prevent you from having a child for the past 33 years. And you think about the lunar moon cycle, it happens every 33 years, and it has something to do with fertility, and Martha is trying to have this kid. You have to automatically connect this all together. And I lie to you not, this show not only involves sci-fi, but it involves astrology, and science fiction, of course, and many other things. Oh, the light little particle is actually called the God particle. When you think about God, you think about light. You think about light source. You think about life itself. That's why I believe Claudia called it the God particle. It gets to this scene where it kind of starts getting super intensified. To get it really intense because of the music and the suspense, it's the scene with everything's kind of happening at once. You have Ulrich and Helge. Ulrich kind of riles up Helge and he's like, tell me what's really going on, basically. And Helge is like, I need to stop this. I need to stop him. I need to stop him. And he's like, who? He's like, you. I need to stop you. Ulrich kind of looks like, what? But he lets him go. We have Alexander, he calls up Charlotte, he's like, meet me at the power plant place. Bartosz and Martha meet up. Martha arrives at Bartosz's house. Can we talk about Bartosz's house? Like, I really like the way their house looks. They got like, they can just come to the door and just look out. Like, that's beautiful. How much money is in Martha? Martha kind of shows up to Bartosz's house and she tells him, like, your dad is in on this. We need to go down there to the power plant. And Bartosz, he just goes with her. Then we got the cleft lip guy goes through the orb. Adam pulls the lever. He tells he tells future Francesca and future Magnus that this is time. It's on. So the next scene, 1 hour to apocalypse. See Magnus and Francesca, they're sitting together. This is telling Francesca, Martha came home, she was freaking out, she was tripping, she was saying that there was going to be apocalypse, and Francesca and Magnus kind of joke about it. And she's like, well, at least we'll die together. Ha ha ha, they hold hands. Little do they know. Bartosz and Martha, they're rushing to the power plant spot. Alexander takes Charlotte to the power plant spot. They meet at the power plant place. Helge is walking so that he can go through the cave to change time. And he's like, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And you know what that means? That means time about to run out. Tick tock, tick tock. Let me hurry up and get here. And then we got Ulrich, who let him go because he wanted to following him. Then we got the music creeping up, letting us know, oh, it's about to go down. I had anxiety the entire time I was watching that scene, the entire time I was watching this episode. It was getting super intense. Okay, so then future Francesca and Magnus pop up and in the woods while Bartosz is taking Martha on his bike to the power plant place. And I'm like, listen, everybody just out here saying anything. He's like, come with us, we can change it, we can fix it, you can change it. And Jonas is alive. Just like, Martha, don't trust them. Everybody's been seeing the same thing. They can change it, they can fix it, and every time they say that, something goes wrong or they're lying. Not to mention, they did not give her enough information. The only reason she went with them was because she saw that time machine and she was like, okay, they know what's up, I'm going with them. And she just basically was like, sorry, Bartosz, peace out. And I felt bad for Bartosz. Like, this season, I actually started to grow fond of Bartosz. Like, I like Bartosz this season. I felt bad because I was like, damn, his mom's dead. He don't have no friends. The only girl that he liked, basically he was practically in love with her, just ditched him to go figure out what's going on with Jonas. And his dad has been lying to him this whole time, like, and he's just sitting there lost, stuck. We get that almost to last final scene with all the future characters and older Martha, Ava, and then we have middle-aged Martha, we have Egon, the future Egon, future Bartosz, Claudia, Noah the minister, and then Noah, I believe the younger version of Noah. I had to look that up because I forgot that he was a younger version of Noah. I believe he's a younger version of Noah. Martha gives them tasks and she says, darkness is followed by light, and with every death comes a life. We know what that means. If Martha's dying, that means her death is not going in vain. Or whoever's dying, not going in vain. Which, of course, that can mean anything. That could mean Martha's dying, but her baby isn't dead. That could mean Martha's dying, but Hannah's still having that baby. Somebody gonna deliver it. That can mean that statement can mean so many different things. So now we know that it's light versus dark, and that is Martha's army versus Adam's army. Final scene, everything is happening, everything is coming together. Notice how the suits are red now. The suits, they used to be yellow. In this case could mean red for power, or it could actually mean red for evil. In this case, it probably means devil or evil, because Alexander is basically plotting to get rid of Charlotte. This is all a ploy. You see Hannah, she's bleeding, so we gotta assume that she's having a miscarriage. She's about to lose this baby. Something's not right. Something's wrong. We have Elizabeth and young Noah in the bunker together. Actually, older Noah, the minister, leaves them in there together. And Noah, he's in charge of love. So you have to assume that young Elizabeth and Noah, or young Noah, are going to get together in some type of way. Going to be lovers, maybe. End up having a child. I don't even know. But also, like, how old is Elizabeth and how old is, because young Noah looked like he's like a teenager, and Elizabeth, I thought she was like not even a teenager yet, or not even a preteen. Egon shows up to Hannah. He's supposed to save that life. Martha is dying as the orb is stripping her life, literally stripping her life away from her. We see Magnus and Francesca holding hands before the apocalypse engulfs the both of them. I think I do want to say, with the whole Martha thing, Martha was screaming out Adam's name, but she was saying Jonas, Jonas. And at first I was thinking, well, she's saying Jonas, maybe that's because it really shows like who Jonas has become. He's like this evil dude now, and like he's changed. He's not the original Jonas anymore. To her, she's thinking Jonas, you used to be this guy Jonas, but he's really this wicked person Adam, and it shows how his character has changed. But then I went online and I started looking up stuff, and I was kind of like on Reddit, and people had some like good speculations. They were like, what if Adam is not even freaking Jonas, and Adam is really Bartosz, and that's why he didn't respond when she kept on saying Jonas, Jonas, Jonas. He just pretty much ignored it. And I'm like, that would be crazy. You never know. You never know. They want to say this ended the same way the episode ended in season 2, when they opened up the barrels and the dark matter came out. Even though Charlotte was telling them, this is not good, do not do it, they did not listen to her. This is kind of the same way that ended, but it's a little bit different. But it definitely involves the dark matter. It definitely involves opening up the barrels again. Questions at the end of this episode is, did the apocalypse happen? It looked like it did. Did it destroy everyone? I don't think it did. I think that Ava had something up her sleeve. Not to mention the cleft lip guy. I think he had something up his sleeve as well. That's why he separated his younger and older self to go that other way, to go into the orb, and then he himself went a different route. I think he definitely had a plan set in motion. And I'm just very curious to see what's going to happen on the next episode. 2 more episodes left, and then we are done this season. Please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below. Let me know your thoughts about this episode. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified for upcoming videos. And I will see you all next time. Peace. Sure to get your copy of my book Rain. It is about a group of young adults, all with mental illnesses. One has schizophrenia, the main character. One is suicidal, who has suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendency. One is trans. One is dealing with PTSD. He's in the army. Another has dealt with sexual abuse. We have another who is a complete murderer and a killer and has split personality disorder, living in this mental institution their whole lives, and they don't think they're ever getting out. They get this counselor, and he decides he's going to help them because he's learning that something's wrong with this place, and these kids are being controlled by this place, and that they have some sort of special abilities. It's not just them being mentally ill. They have special abilities. This is a psychological thriller mixed with sci-fi and horror. It takes you on this journey of the mind of not only the kids, but the counselor himself, and how his life and his past traumas haunt him over and over and over. So if you like sci-fi, if you like thriller, if you like this show, you would definitely enjoy this book. Make sure you get you a copy. Link in the description box below. And if you don't want to do that, you also can hit up my email and you can get percentage off the book. So it would be like probably like 2%, 3% cheaper than what it is on Amazon link. So we're gonna finish the rest. So if you want to stick around and hear the rest of the read, I'm here. So last we checked, all the brothers are in one room. They're kind of meeting each other, and it's about to get intense. What's he doing here? I thought it'd be appropriate if we, well, it rolls off his tongue so fluidly. Invited a friend. He's not my friend. Joseph intervenes aggressively. My mouth opens, but nothing comes out because all the pain is locked inside. Spencer laughs with a sly grin. It seems Joseph here is clearly upset with you, for some reason. He eyes me, then Joe. Would you care to share, brother? You're no brother of mine. Joseph's eyebrows form creased marks in his forehead. Oh, how exciting this is. He stands. Well, I guess I'll go first then. He talks while we uncomfortably sit. The ice-cold air tugs at my bare flesh, sending goosebumps up my prickly arms. Jake sneezes simultaneously. His brother sends a "bless you" his way. Their voices sound like a church choir, all speaking in unison. A shiver rose down my spine. Church choirs. I remember when my father had me singing them. I remember I cried so much to my mother, pleading, begging her to tell my father I didn't want to do it, and that I couldn't. And she said, "Please just do it for your father, dear. It'll make him happy." Afterwards, she bought me my favorite peanut butter ice cream and caramel drizzled on top. My father was so proud that he pitched in, giving me double scoops. I was so happy that I forgot all about how stupid the choir was and how much I dreaded it that I didn't even think about it until I got home, of course. I overheard Father telling my mother how he was going to sign me up for a personal talk with Pastor Jim for my illness. That bastard. An obnoxious laughter fills my eardrums. So, I guess John thought that he was having a flashback, which he was, but he actually was talking out loud. So, she brought us here because you thought we'd have a fucking family time, huh? He snorts. So apparently there's construction going on outside, but whatever. I'm just gonna keep reading. Jake is my family, but you're just a two-headed dragon, and Leon and Dad, all the rest of you are just a bunch of lying, deceiving criminals, and you'll pay for what you've done. He points, all of you. From his peripheral, he watches me, masking his mouth. He chews in between his fingers, nodding backward and forward like a kid in a rocking chair. Spencer bursts into laughter. He's laughing at Joseph because he thinks he's a joke. Unlike the three Wright brothers, who are sitting down, Spencer looks nothing like them. His features are softer in comparison, and his eyes are chunkier. His nose is thinner and flat, and his lips are not as plump. I wonder what his mother looks like, because he does indeed have Matthew's devilish, sinful personality. If I was to assume, I'd say that unlike the Wright brothers, he's Matthew's true heir. Spencer yawns, then takes a look at his wristwatch. And what have we done, brother? He speaks the last letter slowly in syllables as if to explain to Joseph what it means. Joseph, who's now picking his fingernails, doesn't respond. In fact, he doesn't even acknowledge Spencer. It's as if he doesn't know he's there. A drop of sweat trickles down his face, and he spits out a hangnail covered in grime. Spencer approaches Joseph. Don't all speak at once, sweet brother. Don't bother, Spencer wipes the grime from his cheek. Leon, on the other hand, looks worried. His hands are clutching the side of his chair. He's pressed forward as if he's ready to jump on Spencer, as if he knows something will happen like it has happened before. I'll let you have that one, because I know you're very special. Anyways, I'm Spencer, as some of you may know. He looks at me and Leon. Matthew's other son? Mr. Fucking Prodigy. Ah, yes. Joseph grins. Spencer bows. We know who you are, Spencer, yells Leon. He ignores Leon. Mr. Prodigy, yes. The true right. That's right. Is it? Asks Joseph. Excuse me. What do you mean, brother? Joseph laughs, clutching his stomach. I think you'd better watch it. You don't want me to hurt your feelings, bro. I'm Jake. Nice to meet you. Now, can you release brother? Brother? Jake and Joseph laugh as if they have an inside joke only the two of them know about. I can't right now. But Joseph stands. He tugs Jake's hand along to go. Spencer looks at Leon, who asks where they're going, but Joseph persistently follows the direction to the door. Leon runs behind him, snatching Jake by the arm. My phone rings. Great, perfect timing. I check the caller ID, which reads Anonymous Caller. Anonymous caller who's left several messages. I'll call them back later. I close my phone. A loud crash of a glass is heard and I jump up alert. Joseph is turned towards his brother with his hand balled into a fist and his eyes are aflame. Leon is standing talking to him with his arm out as a kid cries, but I can't scratch out what he's saying. My phone is buzzing in my pocket. I quickly pull it out, ready to click ignore. I open to see it's Anonymous calling again. Spencer, who's been watching me the entire time, speaks. Perhaps you should answer that. He smiles sheepishly. Don't worry. The argument will still be here when you come back. I glare at him for a moment, then shoot a look back at Joseph, who's yelling in Leon's face. I can't just leave him. I have to help. What can I do? My heart paces like I just completed an exerting workout session and my palms are sweaty. What to do? What to do, John? I look again at my phone, then at Joseph. My thoughts tangle in a web. I see a hand swing and hear another crash of something breaking. What's going on? I touch my temple, close my eyes, and breathe, but the phone still rings. A faint voice calls. Answer it, John. Go on, answer it. Answer it, John. Answer it. Answer it. The words spin around in my brain like a popular radio song I can't get out of my head. Make it stop. I place the phone to my ear. Hello? Hello, who's this? I gulp my spit, trying to breathe. On the other end is nothing but silence. Did they hang up? Perhaps I took too long. I move the phone. My finger glides to end call, but a low voice catches me. John, it's... Her voice cracks. She's scared. It's... Static rattles our connection. I holler into the other end. I look at Spencer, whose eyes are stalking me like a hawk. So I step out, past the chaos of shattered glass and into the hall. Yes, who is this? This is John. Hello. Please, more static. Don't hang up. I'm here. I won't. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Fly. Static continues. Who is this? Fly. You are... More static. Me. 3. My eyelids widen. I whisper, Neil. The phone line cuts and the call drops. That voice. Could it be Neil? That's impossible, isn't it? Immediately walking back into the office, I notice the atmosphere has changed. Loud, chaotic screaming has tainted the air. Sobbing is heard in the faint distance while my father is seen yanking her by the shoulders, shaking her and screaming in her face. It is red, bloody, and dripping down on her beautiful white gown. That was a flashback. A burning pressure flares my nostrils and a sharp electric shock knocks me to the floor. That was the end of chapter 12.